bulging muscles, damsels in distress, alien landscapes, and weird monsters. Your story has everything, but there is one thing missing: artwork. My name is Nate Jeffers, and I'm the creator, writer, and artist behind DSR Deep Space Rescue, and this is Creating Comics 101, the web series. So last time we talked about writing your script, making your story come to life, and getting it ready to become a real comic book. But now we're going to talk about a big next step, and that is creating your artwork for your comic. So this is a place where a lot of creators get really frustrated or even just give up. Creating the artwork for a comic is usually where a lot of creators run into problems because of how challenging it is. So how do we make it easier? How do we streamline the entire process so you can turn your script into an actual comic? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So when creating the artwork for your story, you definitely want to be able to convey emotion, mood, feeling, and action. Of course, that's what comics are known for, right? Is their action. So here's some things that I found were helpful in making all of that a little bit easier to convey. So one of the first things that I learned in creating my first book, which is 64 pages, it's pretty extensive. In part of the process, I learned about using the thumbnail art. So thumbnails are really just small sketches of your pages before you commit to the final page. And these are really important. These are a good way to figure out what your pages will look like before you commit to drawing a full-size page. So I did 64 thumbnail pages for my first book, and I also, for volume 2 of DSR, Deep Space Rescue, have drawn 90 pages of thumbnails. And these are really important because they're the first step in figuring out what your book will look like. But the really important thing that I discovered was making good use of those thumbnails. Once you have all of your thumbnails finished, what you can do is actually take those, copy them, enlarge them to a full-size page, and then you can grab a light box off of Amazon. I'll actually post an image of what one of those looks like. A3 is usually a good size for a light box for comics if you're working on 11 by 17 paper. So you can take your thumbnails, enlarge them in a copier, and then basically work directly onto your final page using your own artwork. Now, when I started doing this, I ended up saving a lot of time and a lot of effort in figuring out how the pages were going to look. So this is a really, really nice step to be able to streamline your entire process. So once you have all your pages penciled, you have to think about inking your comic. Of course, there are a few options. There aren't really any rules for inking. You have to find what works for you. So I will talk about some of the things that I liked, and that includes using micron pens. So micron pens are really, really great because they come in a variety of sizes. You're able to control your lines a little bit better. And also I found using pretty much whatever I can get my hands on, and that includes Sharpies. There are also Tombow brush pens. Those are excellent for inking. So I think that's it for now. So what we're going to talk about next time, now that you have your line art, we're going to talk about coloring. And we're doing a separate video for that because that gets pretty extensive, but it is a really, really important step in creating your comic.